Hey, good morning, everyone. Happy Sunday. I am here this morning to chat with you about why we care so much about what other people think and a couple of mindset shifts that you can make to get away from the drama in your head about why we care so much about how others view us. So I want to start this morning with a quote that really resonates with me, and that is, care about what others think of us and you will always be their prisoner. That is super powerful because we don't deserve to be anybody's prisoner. We don't deserve to live where other people perceive us. We only deserve to live in our positivity of ourselves. Here's something else. We will always live in the place that other people dream of us to be in because we choose to be there. But what if we made the mental shift? Because what that does is it just creates judgment. It creates judgment of ourselves. It creates negativity. It creates negative thoughts. And we are so inclined to quickly fall to the judgment phase of ourselves before we shift to the positive side. What if we actually believed in our hearts only positive things that we said to ourselves? What if we let go and shedded all the negative things that we think people are talking about? Like, here's a great example. A great example is you go to take a selfie with a friend, and the first one you take, you have a crooked smile, and so you retake it, and then you retake it, and then you retake it again. And you're now 27 selfies onto your phone and you can't still find one that you find approval in. Now, is that because you're afraid of what other people will see in those photos? Or is that because you're not happy with the image that you're seeing? Because let me tell you, when someone sees a picture of you on Facebook, all they see is the life in your eyes and the brightness in your smile. That's all. And really, in reality, people are thinking positive thoughts. You look beautiful. I like your smile today. Your hair looks super. Your clothes are fancy. Your earrings are dingly. That's what people see. But what we think that they see are all the negative things. Oh, her hair looks out of place. Why would she go live if her hair looks out of place? Or she didn't quite get her makeup right this morning, or she looks homeless this morning. Why would she go live? That's what we hear in this poor brain of ours, when in reality, people are not thinking that of you. In reality, we are only dreaming and perceiving and taking what we perceive someone else to think of us as fact. And then that becomes our story. And in fact, that's not the story at all. So we create what we live in other people's heads. That's where we create. We create a vision, a version of ourselves based on other people's perception, and then we buy off on that story. And you know what? It is quite possible nobody said a word, not a single word to you. They didn't say anything negative to you. They said nothing self-deprecating. And yet we hear things that we want to hear. So how do we make that shift? We want to step away from creating a negative, judgmental image of ourselves in our heart and head and start only listening to the positive things. So one of the things I heard this weekend is to always ask yourself, what if the reverse was true? What if every negative thought that we have in our head, what if the reverse was true? And then believe that story, okay? For instance, you're looking at somebody on a Facebook page. This is just something I'm thinking of. And you're thinking to yourself, oh my God, my bangs are not in place. What if the reverse was true? What if somebody said, wow, I think her hair looks great this morning? Maybe you should believe that. Or what if you walked out, you're at work, and you walked out of a boardroom presentation and you were a perfectionist, right? So you were going to have that PowerPoint presentation dialed in, your presence, your dress, everything was great. And you walked out and you go, oh my God, I totally forgot to say this. And I totally screwed up. And people are going to think bad of me because I didn't say the right things. What if the reverse was true? What if you swapped that story and those people in that boardroom were like, wow, that was a great presentation. I actually learned a lot. She delivered it beautifully. She was articulate. She was succinct. I liked listening to her. She was engaging. And I didn't miss a word she said. What if that reverse was true? And that was the story that we believed in our head. We wouldn't care what other people thought anymore, right? Because we just believed in our hearts that the reverse of what our negative and judgmental voice is saying to us. So I want you to think about that, because that drives our inner critic, and it also drives our inner mentor. Our inner critic is loud enough. We don't need to believe what we perceive other people to think of us. We've already thought of it. We're already hard on ourselves. We are already thinking those judgmental, negative, awful things to ourselves. We seriously don't need to buy off on everybody else's story. So here's an idea for you. I believe there's 3 types of business. Okay, there is the business of nature or the business of the universe, right? I believe that the business of nature is that we cannot control winter storms. That's nature's business. When we lose a pet in the household, that's nature's business. When something happens that we cannot control, like a windstorm or a house falling over, things like that, that is nature's business. We cannot control that. Why would we try to control it? We don't take responsibility for it. That's easy for us to see. Then there's somebody else's business, your business. I can't control your business either. I can't control what you're thinking. I can't control what you're doing. I cannot control that you just drove down the road and got into a road rage issue with a guy next door because you're jealous of their GT staying. I can't control that. That is somebody else's business, right? And then there's your business. These are things that you can control. Your business is what you believe in yourself, what you choose to believe in yourself, things that you can control, the love of your family, the love of your husband, and what I believe very deeply to be the love of our cats, our dogs, and our horses. And that's my second tip, is that what if we viewed the world and everybody else around us the way we think our dogs, cats, and horses think of us? Think about that for a minute. I came home last night and I had been gone for 4 days, which felt like an eternity. I honestly, really, as much as I was soaking in all the beauty and the growth that I was going through this weekend, and I was celebrating with friends and being around people that lift me up and bring me strength, I wanted to come home. I love being at home, and I missed my little Clara, and I missed my naughty Roddy, and I missed my Kane, and I missed my husband and my son. I wanted to come home. And when I walked in that door, that silly Clarabelle, she jumped all over me, and she was licking me and snuggling with me and slamming me and doing whatever she could to get my attention because Mama was home, right? And I guarantee you there was not a negative thought in that girl's brain. She was not thinking, where have you been? You look terrible after traveling for 5 hours. Your suitcase looks unshoveled, all those things. That dog did not think a single negative thought. And we don't think that our animals think bad of us. We don't believe that. We don't believe that to be true at all. But yet they have the same loving thought processes that humans do. But we don't give humans enough credit for what they think about us. So who cares, right? Last night I crawled into bed. My puppy dog jumped into the bed, and normally she jumps up and she snuggles with me like right here. Like she gets right into my face. And she slams her body and she just snuggles as tightly as she can down my side, and she just goes to sleep. Well, last night she went to sleep at my feet. And I turned to my husband and I literally said, I wonder if she's mad at me. Do you think my dog is mad at me? I go, Claire, are you mad? She's not mad. She's like, Mama, you're home. My world is whole, right? And if we thought if we thought of other people the way we think our animals think of us, we might actually create a more positive story in our mind. But we don't give other humans credit for saying positive thoughts. And if they say negative thoughts, let me tell you something. That is not your business. That is their business. That is not your business. For whatever it is that they are thinking, that is a problem that lies within them. They choose not to think positively. They choose to be judgmental. And frankly, they're living in a state of jealousy because you are being positive. I was thinking about when I go down to the barn and I see Sunshine. And I walk into the barn, and what does my horse do? Her head comes flying out of the stall. She's heard my voice. Her head comes flying out of the doorway, and she looks at me, and she whinnies or nickers. That's probably hungry. But still, she greets me, right? She doesn't look at me and go, woman, your boots need polishing. And your white breeches, they have like smidges on them. And frankly, you look like you gained 5 pounds. She doesn't think that. She does not think that at all. That mare is like, woman, where have you been for the last 23 hours? I miss you. That's what they're thinking. So what if we took a moment and believed that other people think more positive of us than they do? What if when someone walks up to you and gives you a compliment, that you choose to believe that? How many of us, and I'm guilty of it, how many of us have a really tough time accepting a compliment? You think that they just said that to be nice. Probably not. To be honest with you, it is hard for humans to be positive. So when something nice comes out of someone's mouth, you ought to accept that as total fact. Not just maybe they were thinking that, or they were probably just trying to be nice, or they probably don't really believe that. Look, if they spent the energy to think the thought and then to actually articulate it out of their mouth in the direction that you were standing, it's probably fact. And you should probably just say, thank you. I really appreciate that. I kind of needed that positivity today. And give them a hug. Accept it. Accept some positivity in your life and change that mental thought process from negative to positive, because the reverse was true. The thing that you said in your head and somebody walked up and gave you a compliment and the reverse, boom, was true. Accept that. Enjoy it, relish in it, believe it, and make it 100% your story. The last thing I'm going to leave you with is something that I firmly believe in. I believe that humans are innately selfish. That is who we are. Okay, so in our brain, we are only in our private thoughts, the 1,100 of them that we have every minute, believe it or not. In our private thoughts, we are only thinking about ourselves, which also means that they are not thinking of you, right? So all these things of what do people think of us? They're probably not thinking of you. Here's a good example of what I believe to be true. When I post my before and after photo of my health journey, because I'm attempting to inspire someone else to take the step positive in their lives, when I post that picture, all I see sometimes are the flaws on the right and not the beauty that I've created on the left. Let me tell you what other people see when they see my before and after photo. Other people see what that can do for them. They don't see me at all. They might see the difference in me. They might see that I lost 40 pounds. They might see a brighter smile or better skin or a longer hair, but they only can apply that to them. What if I could lose 40 pounds? What if my face could look that nice? What if my smile was bright like that? That's what they see. And the last thing that they see is me. That is exactly why I am not afraid or ashamed or fearful of posting my before and after photo because I know you're not seeing me. You're only seeing what that could do for you. So the same thing is true. And why do we care what other people think? Because frankly, my friends, they're not thinking of you. And those 27 selfies that you took of yourself to get the very right one, they don't see. And then the one that you pick, it was beautiful the first time. You are a beautiful person with a beautiful heart and a gorgeous smile. That is all that they see. And if we believed in our hearts that the world saw us the way our animals do, you would live a much more positive life. So I want to encourage you today to shift the way you think that people think about you. Shift it and stop caring, because the fact of the matter is they're probably not thinking about you at all. You're thinking more about all the things that could be wrong with you. In reality, there are people out there that are frankly jealous of what you have, and they are seeking a way to be more like someone that is their mentor or they aspire to be. The only people that, in my mind, that you should actually care what they think are your mom, your dad, your husband, your kiddos, and maybe the mentors in your life. Do you have mentors in your life? Do you have people that you aspire to become? I do. I do have people in my life that I aspire to become. I could give you 5 right now off the top of my head. My dad. My dad is one of the most true and wonderful and amazing people that I know. He has a heart of gold and he sees the world beautifully. He doesn't even see negativity in people. Like, he's been burned so many times in his life because he trusts. He trusts from the pure of heart. I want to be like that. I love that about him. A second mentor is Delisha Sorensen. That woman knows how to love without judgment. And she only sees the very best in me and my partnership with my horses. And she's always striving to push me to a new place. That's a mentor. Christy Wasaki, she's a mentor. I love her training. I relish in what she has to say. And I strive to meet the mark of her expectation. That's important to me. Helen Irwin. She is a world-renowned international empowerment, mind shift, leadership coach. She is amazing. And in all of her years of studying and in all of her years of creating the life that she wants to create, she's now sharing that with others. And I think that that's amazing. I also, I think Jen Verheeren is one of my mentors. I love Jen. She has made major changes in my life because she helped me make mental shifts. So do you have mentors in your life that you would look up to, that you want to be like? If they are, write them down, call them and tell them. Tell them they mean something to you, because that will just flourish that relationship. And then all of a sudden you might actually know what people think of you instead of guessing what others think of you. That's what I have today. I hope that this made a difference in your day. And I would love to hear from you in the comments below about things that you're struggling with, or maybe what spoke to you most about what others think about you. I hope you have a great Sunday. I'm looking forward to seeing all of you in the chat, and I will talk to you soon. Have a beautiful cup of coffee, and I'll talk later, okay?